Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's headlines, Tzu Chi volunteers in the United States are distributing emergency cash and relief items to fire victims in New Jersey. Children participating in a summer workshop in China's Shanghai are putting together the musical adaptation of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude to Parents. And in our feature report on Taiwan's fading industries, we go to Taichung to learn the history behind the carved wood puppets. We start today's show in the United States. On July 10th, a fire broke out in 2 apartment buildings in Woodbridge Township in Middlesex County, New Jersey, leaving 50 families without roofs over their heads. Upon receiving the news, Tzu Chi volunteers rushed to the scene to conduct a disaster survey. And on July 15th, the volunteers distributed $500 of emergency cash to each household, along with other relief items. Here's more.
On July 10th, a fire broke out in 2 apartment buildings in Woodbridge Township in Middlesex County, New Jersey, leaving 50 households homeless. On July 15th, Tzu Chi volunteers arrived on scene, bringing materials and emotional support to the fire victims.
In a short time, they did very good job, and I must tell you, they are very good. Thank you so much.
Okay, everything will be okay.
The piggy bank which is shown, it's really touched my heart, because everybody is going to face the same thing. Even I did so much social life, but this time it touched my heart.
The 5 victims are mostly Indians who are not familiar with the Buddhist NGO. The help from Tzu Chi has touched their hearts.
Just grab the baby, nothing else, because we don't have that much of time to grab something for my baby at least, because we don't know what is happening outside. Once we came out, we noticed that okay, some fight is going on.
Along with providing emergency cash of $500, Tzu Chi volunteers also provided a reusable bag and a scarf made from recycled bottles.
Chinese style for Tibetan.
Oh wow!
Yes. Now this is the bank. As we say, if you can help others like we are helping you today,
Definitely.
great. You know, I know you well.
Mostly volunteers?
Yes, we all the volunteer. Yeah. If you have a free time, you can join us.
Oh, I'm lucky I'm going to stay alive.
Okay.
Thanks to the Tzu Chi volunteers, the fire victims regained the strength to move on.
Now moving to Vietnam, we join Tzu Chi volunteers as they distribute subsidies every month to care recipients. On one recent home visitation, Ran Si Chun Xiang, who received scholarship aid from Tzu Chi, decided to accompany the volunteers as she believes that the heartfelt care of the volunteers will bring recipients a life full of love.
In the eyes of many, promoting Tzu Chi's work in Vietnam is difficult. Despite the heavy rain and blocked roads, the volunteers always find a way to travel to their care recipients' houses. Tzu Chi volunteers take care of their assigned households every month and insist on delivering subsidies personally, no matter how long, far and muddy the way may be. Chinese businessman Li Junwu and his family think that this is much more meaningful than going on a vacation. University student Ran Si Chun Xiang was raised by her grandmother after her parents' divorce. With the help of Tzu Chi, she has been able to continue her studies, so she decided to reciprocate Tzu Chi's love by taking part in the volunteer work. Though feeling uncertain at first, she quickly learns from the volunteers.
This means the world.
An activity group leader at school, Ran soon gets a handle on things, learning the sign language at a rapid clip and finding ways to interact with the children. It's difficult to recruit volunteers under the strict law of Vietnam. Simply taking Chun Xiang out on this trip was quite difficult to do. But through mutual understanding and trust, a harmonious relationship is built.
First, we need to learn, and then we need to use what we have learned to help others. This is called the Bodhisattva way.
Anyone with the heart to give is a bodhisattva, and when love is paid forward, the world will be a better place.
4 years ago, Edan and Rushman in Indonesia received help from Tzu Chi as a part of a housing reconstruction project. It was thanks to the help of the Buddhist NGO that the two families were able to sleep without worrying about rain leaking through their roofs. Today, both recipients are giving back as a token of appreciation for Tzu Chi's help.
The first time volunteers visited Engdeng's house, the roof was in tatters. Tzu Chi volunteers resolved to fix the problem through a reconstruction project.
Ever since Tzu Chi helped rebuild my home, the roof does not leak when it rains. We can all sleep soundly now.
With stable income from the couple's grill business, Engdeng reciprocates by making deposits to his coin bank every day. When it's full, he donates it to his local Tzu Chi liaison office. Although the trip requires 3 transfers, he does not find it bothersome.
I want to reciprocate because others have helped us out to reconstruct our home.
Rusman, whose home was also repaired by Tzu Chi's reconstruction project, also gives back when he can.
When we receive help, we also need to reciprocate by helping others in need.
Whether the reciprocation is in the form of donations or physical labor, Tzu Chi recipients continue to happily pay the love forward.
Next, in China, Shanghai Tzu Chi volunteers have put together a summer camp from July 7th to 14th for 3rd to 6th graders. But it is not only the children that are benefiting from the 8-day summer workshop. As parents said, they have also learned much regarding filial piety. And at the end of the seminar, the children put together the musical adaptation of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude to Parents, which moved many of their audience to tears.
This is the first Tzu Chi summer camp that volunteers at the Shanghai Changfeng Tzu Chi Liaison Office have organized. The camp, held from July 7 to 14 for children in grades 3 to 6, hope to teach children respect, filial piety, and conservation ideals.
I had a great time playing with the others, and I made new friends. I also learned that I shouldn't use disposable chopsticks and that waste oil can turn into soap.
During this camp, children rehearsed for the musical adaptation, Profound Gratitude to Parents. The hope was that these children would learn filial piety in the process of learning the sign language.
The sign language musical, Profound Gratitude to Parents, strives to teach children that filial piety should not be put off until later.
If I take part in the musical adaptation, maybe I can learn from the children on how to get along with parents, the deep bonds of parental love. Perhaps I can take those values home and apply them in my own life.
The children have only rehearsed for a short while, but when performing on stage, the audience members can hardly tell. The children's interpretation of filial piety also struck a chord with many parents.
This camp not only taught our children, but also us adults too. It challenges us to work as hard as they do, because we have parents too. And we should use the same kind of respect to treat our own parents.
I think the greatest reward of filial piety is still taking care of your parents when they are older.
On stage, the children's heartfelt interpretation not only moved audience members, but also their own hearts as well.
I can't use grand gestures to reciprocate my love to my parents, but I can do small things to lessen my parents' burdens.
This sign language musical adaptation acts as a reminder for me, to remind us that the only thing we can do is to have a compassionate heart and to reciprocate parental love.
Hu Yunhui's parents came from Fujian to Shanghai to watch their son on stage. They are quite shocked at the change in behavior in their son.
Yesterday, when I asked his father if he wanted tea, my son got up to get his father tea on his own.
Under the teachings of Tzu Chi, these children have become more polite and learn to express the love they have for their parents, a change that everyone hopes will be long-lasting.
Staying in China at Tzu Chi's humanitarian summer camp in Suzhou, children put on the sign language musical Master Zhen Yan tells a story using props made from recycled materials. The master's teachings were included in order to help the youngsters open their hearts to wisdom, and parents were impressed that their children get to learn about doing good deeds and filial piety at a young age.
On the last day of Suzhou's humanitarian summer camp, everyone is working together to make the sign language musical a success. 1 week ago, they were still strangers, but after spending several days together learning about vegetarianism, environmental protection, and international relief, all 170 participants and seminar staff are like one big family. Besides making the props and costumes out of recyclable materials, the youngsters also take Master Zhen Yan's teachings to heart. With their lively interpretation of the play, the children manage to touch the heart of their audience.
This is not just about putting on a short skit. The most important thing is to take this wisdom to heart and integrate it into your daily life. One is most beautiful when they know to do good deeds and be filial to their parents.
Parents were most impressed by how quick their children matured.
I think that Tzu Chi children are truly blessed. They learn to do good deeds and be filial to their parents at such a young age. I really believe that children under the influence of Tzu Chi will lead a good life.
Though the humanitarian summer camp has come to an end, the seed of goodness have taken root in the children's hearts.
Last year, during a trip to Taiwan, the government officials of Selangor, Malaysia, discovered the importance of vegetarianism. To encourage more people to go meatless, they started the Green Monday campaign at the Petaling Jaya City Hall. During a press conference, Tzu Chi volunteers were also invited to share their experiences. Let's take a look.
To encourage its citizens to adopt a healthy diet, the government of Selangor, Malaysia, established a vegetarian campaign at Petaling Jaya City Hall.
Last year, when I visited Taiwan, I realized that many Taiwanese people, even government institutions, were already embracing vegetarianism. They all know the benefit of adopting a vegetarian diet. Some people from our team suggested that we should do the same when we return to Selangor.
For years, Tzu Chi volunteers have been encouraging people to save our planet by going meatless, and the results have always been great. This time, the government of Selangor joined hands with the Kuala Lumpur Tzu Chi volunteers to establish the Green Monday campaign.
This campaign, kita akan start dekat kantin. Every Monday, we call it the Green Monday projects. They're going to sell this veggie. The objective is to create awareness among the MPPJ staff to get the right foods lah. Untuk menunjukkan bahawa sekarang ni banyak penyakit caused by the food.
Tzu Chi volunteers also attended the press conference to share their experiences after embracing vegetarianism.
The MPs felt that Tzu Chi has been very successful in promoting vegetarianism, so they hope we can come here and educate their staff.
To encourage its staff to embrace vegetarianism, every Monday during breakfast and lunchtime, the cafeteria in Petaling Jaya City Hall will be providing extra vegetarian cuisine.
The result isn't that great this month, but there are still many that are embracing vegetarianism. We are also providing less meat, and more vegetables in the cafeteria.
Hajasariba, who is the town planning director of MBPJ, is diagnosed with high blood pressure. After going meatless, her blood pressure significantly went down. Seeing the benefit of vegetarianism, she decided to promote the concept to others around her.
What state government is trying to do, we need to educate our people, our staff. Lifestyle need to be changed, way of taking food need to be changed. We cannot just do it occasionally, we cannot just do it on Monday. If it becomes the lifestyle, then only you can sustain. So it's a very challenging, because lifestyle take years and years. Doesn't come overnight.
With the Selangor government actively promoting vegetarianism and the increase of health awareness among its residents, this society will be one of harmony and peace.
The Tzu Chi Collegiate Youth Association, or Tzu Chi, is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year and has been established in some 15 countries around the globe. In Taiwan, Tzu Chi clubs can be found in over 80 universities and colleges around the island. Through participating in youth volunteering activities, these students learn to give, serve others, and work in a team. Some says that Tzu Chi is a club for life because what they learn in the organization will benefit them on their life path.
我觉得它很不一样，它真的很奇特，会让人家做欲罢不能。它很有人情味，而且它就像一个大家庭一样。
Tzu Chins are carefully sorting the recyclables into different categories.
中午吃什么？吃什么？
吃水饺。
吃水饺。
The youth volunteers also regularly visit solitary senior residents. There are a variety of different activities, such as providing after-school tutoring for needy students, bringing love and happiness to nursing homes, as well as cleaning up our natural environment. The light-blued uniformed volunteers are students from the Tzu Chi clubs from universities and colleges across Taiwan.
There are a variety of clubs that are based on volunteering, but we Tzu Chins are focused on long-term community service.
Through long-term community service, these students gain the joy of selfless giving.
The Tzu Chi Club gives people a different impression. Tzu Chins actually focus on giving. Though it may be tiring sometimes, when we go home we feel spiritually fulfilled. With other clubs, we would probably only participate during our years in university. But Tzu Chi is for life. You will gain so much here, and that is something that you can take with you for a lifetime.
Today, Tzu Chi clubs around the island also make good use of online social networks to pass on event information and spread goodness to even more people.
We want everyone to get to know our Tzu Chi club, so after we organize an activity, we can invite everyone to take part. Our target audience is quite broad. Whoever has an online account, we will invite them so they can get updates on the event.
Tzu Chins all hope, through their passion and love, to invite more students to join them in spreading happiness to those in need. In our continuing series on Taiwan's cultural industries, we travel to Taichung to meet 50-year-old Li Yimu. Formerly a painter for movie posters, Li later put his considerable artistic talent into the carving and painting of puppets for Taiwan's traditional puppet theatre. From a block of wood to finished products, Li put his puppets through 8 steps, a process that often takes 3 months or more to complete. The results are puppets that bring with life and expression. Let's now take a closer look. The heads of these puppets undergo 8 steps on their way to becoming a finished product, including cutting, carving, painting, and accessories. Overall, it is a process that takes 3 months to complete. Carving the head is 50-year-old Li Yimu, who explains in detail the 8 various steps needed in the making of these puppet heads.
This step is very important, but many people making the puppets don't do it. This makes it more robust. By adding this layer, if the puppet is hit, it won't get damaged so easily.
Each piece is linked together seamlessly. First a face is carved, after which it is sanded down to bring out its features. Next comes coloring, which brings the puppets to life.
You want to carve it so it seems alive. How to do that? By giving the face expression and the eyes a sense of spirit.
Master Li originally painted movie posters.
Wonderful cinemas and also Jackie Chan's police story. This was about 1989 or so.
However, the hand painting of posters was slowly phased out by computer-generated images.
Life was difficult at that time. I was unemployed. I didn't have any work in the film industry. Then I started to paint to console myself. I painted this to encourage myself to keep walking forward, till I reached the 5-color clouds, where I could await the arrival of the golden boy and jade girl.
Maybe the pair heard his plea, as not long after Li's brother brought back broken puppets from Jingmen. In his free time, Li started to repair them and soon was buying wood to try to carve them from scratch.
For certain things, when you first start, you need to observe carefully and even copy when necessary in order to figure out the secrets of the art. When I say secrets, I mean in the shaping of the puppets. Carve one figure and it is called a puppet, carve another and it is called a wooden carving. There is a big difference between the two.
With his background in painting, being well-read and blessed with a keen eye and rich imagination, Li has over time found the soul of his puppets. Especially in puppets assembled from moving parts, face, jaw and head, the lifelikeness of the puppets and their movement is amazing.
I need to wear glasses when I paint them. I have worked on them for 20 years and they have worked for me for 20 years.
The once confused youth is now a content middle-aged man whose determination and patience has opened windows of opportunity once closed.
So people say it is a burden, but I don't agree. It is an accomplishment. When I first started carving, I didn't know what the next day would bring. Now that I have carved so many different things, I understand yesterday. Many yesterdays have passed. I am very through. I don't have any regrets and find myself more and more settled in myself and my work.
The Australia and New Zealand Teaching Leadership Seminar that is held every second year, and this year for the first time the event was held last weekend at the Gold Coast in Sydney in Australia. There were over 40 participants and some 80 staff members who came together to learn about Fiji's humanitarian spirit, and at the end of the seminar many were filled with Dharma joy. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.